Now it is my pleasure to bring to the stage my friend and colleague, Albert Townsend, who is the Director of Lived Experience and Innovation for the Alliance. Albert will be joined in conversation with the Alliance's Community Strategic Team, which consists of external members that partner with the Alliance in its engagement with other lived experience groups across the country who are doing work within their own communities on preventing and ending homelessness. Please welcome Albert Townsend, Amanda Sarber, Jay Lang, Robert Layden, and Stanley Sorrell.
Hey. Hello, Alliance friends, neighbors, and ending homelessness partners. My name is Albert Townsend, and I am the Director of Lived Experience and Innovation at the National Alliance to End Homelessness. Standing side by side with me, though, today are my lived experience leaders, advisors, and experts, the Community Strategic Team, better known as the CST, who have been working with the Alliance Lived Experience Equity Team for nearly 2 years, who are formerly known as the Alliance's Consumer Advisory Board. The CST is the leading lived experience team at the Alliance, working closely together with me around ending homelessness from a lived experience perspective, working with the Alliance internal teams to drive change, and working with our communities around ending homelessness. And we will be hearing from the CST coming up very, very shortly. As I begin my remarks, I would like to open with this statement. Let us not only feel helpful with words and speech, but let us feel hopeful with authenticity, sustainability, accountability, and equitability, which inspires faith for the roles we play, allowing us to live out the true meaning around the substance of things hoped for or the evidence of things unseen. As the lived experience purpose in this work continues to present itself, lived experience leaders, advisors, and experts all across the country will strengthen their own beliefs around what inspiring faith means in their roles now and forever, demonstrating how important it is to dig deep in the focus of their work and how to make a bigger investment in their own communities. The CST is just one component of the Alliance's many lived experience partnerships around innovation. The following is a list of work that the CST has been a part of, developing, designing, deliberating on, deploying through a creative, collaborative, and contributor model through hard work, sweat equity, and perseverance. The following list of other lived experience opportunities created under the Alliance's umbrella is the Research Lived Experience Team, who partner with our internal research teams around a model to produce research publications, a series of videos and content called Workforce Wednesday, which focuses on the lived experience homeless services workforce, the Lived Experience Baker Boyle Fund, which gives entrepreneurs the opportunity to create, recreate, or expand their business models through a recipient funding grant program. The Lived Experience Peer Press Contributors, a partnership with a local street newspaper with lived experience interviewers, produce content at this conference about how ending homelessness in your community is impacted. And finally, our Lived Experience Conference Workshop content developers, who lead the design of sessions as a workshop producer. But finally, one more, our Lived Experience partners who are scholars. And those scholars are here today, and we bring them to the conference on the scholarship to learn, grow, and go back home to reunite inspiring faith. So the intentionality of these partnerships are to ensure that lived experience is integrated anywhere and everywhere in the Alliance. Recognizing that the partnerships around lived experience will continue to create core values, shift standards, build harmony, and embed a moral compass around hope, love, joy, peace, and mercy. The Alliance has initiated the kickoff stage, engaging lived experience partners all over the country as a basis for preventing and ending homelessness together, to ensure we are inspiring faith and roles we all play as people with lived experience. But as we move on this journey together, always asking ourselves, is inspiring faith a mandate? And will it constitute a critical factor in strengthening our impact in a time marked by division and separation? The call to come together as one is more pressing than ever before around exploring what inspired faith really means to you. So in closing, it's essential to come together in agreement over core values, but it doesn't mean we must think and act identical. But instead, we must manifest our beliefs through connectedness, cooperation, and community for the advancement to prevent and end homelessness for those unsheltered lives we promise to protect. Thanks so much for taking the time to listen today. We will now join our inaugural community strategic team on the work they're doing in their communities, the importance of partnering with the Alliance, and what inspires faith for their work. So welcome, community strategic team. So hello, I just want to start by saying I heard through the grapevine, just heard, we got to verify this, but that we are probably the first lived experience moderator, lived experience speakers in about 5 years on the main stage. So, yay. Really quick, we're just going to do a round robin around your name, hometown, and one thing about you. Robert, you're up first.
Sweet. Robert Layden, peer support specialist at the University of Washington Harborview Medical Center. For me, big Seahawks fan. Not sure if there's any 12s in the house. So just real quick, 12-5 record, NFC West championship. And I think we're gonna have the #1 overall defense. So for all any gamblers out there.
Same thing, Stanley.
All right, I'm Stanley Sorrell from San Antonio, Texas. I am the public policy and advocacy manager at the San Antonio Food Bank. And I just finished my master's yesterday, just turning my last assignment. Yes, master's in public health.
Yes. Hey y'all, I am Jay Lang. I'm from Richmond, Virginia. Hey y'all. I believe deeply in the power of storytelling, not just to share experiences, but to heal, build connection, and inspire change. And for me, this work is about making space for dignity, respect, true understanding, especially for those who are often pushed into the margins.
And Amanda.
My name's Amanda Sarver. I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. I am the founder and president of the OCR initiative. I am a person with lived experience, and when I didn't know what to do 5 years ago, I found myself navigating the system alone. And I decided then that if I could help it, I would help the next person in every capacity I could. I created a website that has over thousands of resources on it that are particular to Southwest Ohio. And I engage in street outreach and create community events for those that we engage.
Yes, they have us on a restricted time frame, so we got to move really quickly.
Yep.
Well, I'll ask you a few questions, and you answer questions based on your authenticity. Okay. Let's start out with Jay.
Okay.
Jay, what's your role in your community, and how did that come about?
Yeah, so I serve my community as many things. I'm a connector, a truth teller, a trainer, a facilitator, a circle keeper, an advocate, and a community organizer. My role has really grown out of my lived experience of homelessness, navigating systems, surviving instability, and witnessing the gaps firsthand. So over the past 10 years, I've used my story and my voice to share my lived experience and my learned expertise. And I do that to connect people, to challenge systems, and to advocate for dignity and autonomy. Along the way, I've had a million, that's too many, but I've had a million wonderful opportunities to create and facilitate workshops for people serving locally, statewide, and at the federal level. I've had the opportunity to sit on panels, host pop-up drop-in centers, participate in pit counts, and other outreach efforts. My journey, my lived experience, and my voice not only has led me here to work alongside of these wonderful people in the Alliance, but also to contribute to how lived experience is uplifted in the orgs that I'm a part of. I even recently landed, and I don't know how, but landed up on a TEDx stage for VCU, sharing, thank you, sharing the importance of respecting dignity and autonomy for those experiencing homelessness. It's an experience that has helped me amplify the message that I've always carried along. Every person deserves to be seen, heard, and to be respected. Thank you.
Robert, you're up next. We've been doing some work around thinking about authenticity.
Yeah.
What does authenticity mean to you, and how does that play a part in your work?
For me, it means being genuine and put your best effort out there to make good relationships, which is going to make better connections to find alternatives to housing for the folks that we serve in our work. I think it's important. You never know this because it's not always a fluid process. So the more you can be intentional and authentic and genuine and just have a good heart. And I also think the people that we serve as well and we help out sense that too. And I think that opens up a lot more trust to make a bond and help them move forward with their life too.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Amanda, I'll call on you. What are 2 things that you have worked on at the Alliance that you really enjoyed?
So I'm obviously on the community strategic team. And then I've worked with the Center for Capacity Building to do thoughtful planning, coordination, just overall preparing for the community. Sorry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. It's the CBN network. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of that last word I was trying to say. The CBN.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Stanley, we'll go to you last. You just acquired a new role in your community as well. So tell us about your new role and how it ties into equity.
Yes, I was recently named the Public Policy and Advocacy Manager, as mentioned earlier, at the food bank, using skills that I've learned here from some of the policy team members, Marcy and Samantha. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, as part of the food bank, we're part of the Feeding America Network, part of Feeding Texas, so we advocate for anti-hunger policies at the local, state, and federal level so we can nourish our families, vulnerable populations, and individuals. So using that, just trying to get feedback from our community about what foods are the best for them, like as far as culturally relevant foods, because we can traditionally food banks, food pantries, they give certain things, but we try to have a culturally relevant food. So using that feedback so we can serve our community and give them insight, give them a choice in what they put in their bodies while still offering those nutritious options. So we use that to kind of give people a seat at the table, give them a voice at the table, then give them a play at the table.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Stanley. Appreciate it. I'll go back to you, Jay, since we got a little bit of time. We got about 7 minutes left. We've been working on some pillars in our work. And one of those pillars you decided to work on is accountability.
Yes.
How does accountability inspire faith for you? And could you tell us about how it inspires for you individually?
Yeah, of course. So I chose accountability because it's one of the hardest, most loving things that we can ever offer each other. It's not about shame. It's not about punishment. It's about care. Real accountability says, I believe you can do better, and I'm going to walk alongside you as you do. And for me, accountability, it builds faith because it reminds me and us that growth is possible. It holds space for both, thank you. It holds space for both truth and for transformation. And in my own life and work, I've seen how being accountable, especially to those who are often overlooked, can restore trust, it can repair harm, and most importantly, it ignites hope.
Thank you. We'll go back to you, Robert. There are 2 things that, there's many things you worked on at the Alliance, but what are 2 things for you that you thought inspired faith for you and that you were really interested in working on at the Alliance?
The first one was being able to work alongside you, listening to you, soaking in your experience. It's helped me in my growth, where I'm working on being a supervisor for peers now, and also just learning more about lived experience and how to integrate that into where I work. Secondly, just being a part of the framework and the governance behind the CST. And a great example, everybody, is we've gone from us 4 to where now there's 30 of us in a room. So that's nearly an 8-time increase in 2 years that I've been here. So if you think about that, we've increased by 8 times, eightfold nearly in 2 years. So I can imagine that the future CST, I'm really excited about the future members of this team because I think it's going to be a lot more of an open avenue for them, and they're going to have a lot more of a platform to really expand and showcase their talents and really take advantage of their time.
Thank you, Robert.
Yep.
Amanda, you're up next.
Love it.
Sustainability is something that you selected to work on, which is a crucial component in our work. And how do you see sustainability making this integration?
So supporting individuals that are experiencing homelessness is going to take more than just traditional funding routes. It's going to take a strong community collaboration. It's going to take strategic partnerships. A burden shared is a burden lessened. We all can't do amazing things individually, but collectively, we can do amazing things. I believe that, I've operated my organization for 3 years on a very minimal budget, and we've made a great impact in our community. It's going to take more than affordable housing, more shelters. We have to meet people where they're at on the streets, and sometimes that just means showing up for them.
Thank you, Amanda. And I want to come back to you, Stanley, around some highlights at the work you've done at the Alliance. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, so highlights just in general, being with these amazing people up here over the past year and a half, almost 2 years at this point, getting to collaborate with them, some experts in their fields across the nation. As far as working with the Alliance full-time staff as well, so learning from everybody, getting to put the conferences, workshops together, and all that deal. Then more specifically, being part of Capitol Hill Day last year was a great learning experience for me. Learning, once again, from Samantha, Marcy, and the policy team. So that really had an impact on me. I was kind of getting into the advocacy space anyway, and then that experience last year, now I have a job full-time policy and advocacy. So that was a great experience. That let me know.
Awesome.
So guess what? We got 3 minutes left.
What is
They always say, you go over, Albert. I don't go over. So let's give it up to the community strategic team. And I also want to say, this inspires space for all of us. We're continuing to work together to grow, to learn from each other, and inspire each other to be the best possible version of ourselves. Right. So this inspires faith for us. We're so lucky to be on this stage and to transform our lives from where it was to where it is. And this feels really, really amazing. So thank you for all your support. And we appreciate you. Thank you, Alliance.
Thank you.
Thank you.